welcome back to the Pokemon Black No Experience run, and yeah, I am kind of anxious to finish this with, X and Y over. Believe me, I will be getting to post-game footage of Pokemon X eventually, but for the time being, I really want to finish this because I have, again, all this footage lying around, and I really desperately need to actually finish commentating on it because I really don't want to leave this run unfinished. I'm so close to the end. I want to see it through. But anyway, putting Focus Blast back because we're not actually going to need False Swipe again for quite some time. So, oh wow, am I loving having a False Swipe user? Why is it that in X and Y hardly anything can learn False Swipe? I mean, I can't believe that Charmander couldn't learn it. That was just really annoying. Anyway, Aerial Ace, I wonder if you could learn that. I'm just looking desperately for physical moves for Virizion, because, yeah, if you saw in the previous part, my Virizion has an adamant nature, so I want to make the most of that. I mean, there are some people who would go as would actually reset for natures in a run like this. I actually don't care, which is going to make things even harder for me, but again, I welcome challenge. You know, I went into the Elite Four of X and Y blind and underleveled. I got my butt completely kicked by Seabold, but, that's another issue. Speaking of getting your butt kicked by the Elite Four, though, you know what, I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just say, okay, when you're heading into the Elite Four and you are doing a no experience challenge of this game, my advice to anyone else following my footsteps, Poison Jab, a move so much more useful in X and Y with fairies running around. Ironically, the only one who can use it is actually Cobalion, the one who's immune to poison, but interesting. Guess that actually might be the reason why. I tend to find that most Pokemon can't learn moves of a type they're weak to, for the most part. I may have already pointed this out earlier, but there are some Pokemon like, that can learn, like, in terms of the elemental punches, like, I believe Ladybug can learn Thunder Punch, I think, which it actually is weak to, so, yeah, not exactly the best example. But Ladybug can't learn Fire Punch, so, it's like, again, like, types that are classically associated with the one that, that your type is weak to, usually Pokemon aren't able to learn them. So Virizion being weak to Poison is, probably unable to learn Poison Jab for this reason. Hopefully I won't be needing Retaliate. If I do need it, I have the TM of it, so, yay for reusable TMs! Thank you, Game Freak, for including that in X and Y. And again, yeah, I had to do something to fill the void, commentary-wise, over me using all these TMs, because, believe me, TMs are absolutely crucial to a no-experience challenge, because, especially when they're reusable, because they are pretty much the only way you're able to learn new moves, so you really need these TMs. Incredibly helpful. And it just so happens that the, Three Musketeers, or Swords of Justice, are able to learn quite a few, and Tornadus can learn Focus Blast, interestingly. I probably want to keep Extra Sentry there. I want to get rid of Revenge, though, because, again, modest nature, not so good attack, and Tornadus' attack isn't that great anyway. I actually believe that, Tornadus and Thundurus, their attack stats are perfectly usable. It's just that, okay, you're not going to be able to learn this. You can learn Sludge Bomb? Well, that's very weird, but it's another special move, I guess, if I want the option. Again, that would have been so much more useful if fairies existed now, but they didn't, and we're not supposed to know fairies existed yet, so, shh. You didn't hear anything from me. Yeah, fairies? What are those? Oh, dragon types are so broken, they're never gonna fall from grace. I've gotta go back and pretend I'm in Gen 5, aren't I? Oh, I'm so terrified of Excadrill! I'm still actually flatly terrified of Excadrill, but that's beside the point. And we've gone from being terrified of Excadrill to being terrified of Mega Gengar and Mega Blaziken, so how we have progressed. You know, okay, this is just a random comment relating to X and Y, but speaking of the Swords of Justice, I really want to see what they look like in X and Y, specifically if they actually use their head swords, because due to graphical limitations, you can't really see them do that in this game. And hey, I actually have that Pokemon with me right here, so you can check it out if you want. So yes, we're on our way to Victory Road. Okay. And like always, I just like to look at these. I don't think there's anything new on this one. Nope, nothing new. So, let's head on out and... that fungus so rudely interrupted me. Oh, it's just a fungus, right? I thought it would be the other thing. Yes, coming back from those annoying routes before, the Pokeball, fungus disguises. Kind of funny, because I've I have an interesting relationship with fungus now that I actually use fungus hordes for the vast majority of my HP effort training in X and Y, so... Anyway, we have a Volibeye, a new Pokemon that we have not seen before, I believe. They're only available on this route. Sadly, a lot of the late-game Pokemon in Black and White are actually not that great stat-wise, but anyway, if I can catch this thing, I probably will try, even though I'm probably not going to end up actually using it, because I won't really be able to evolve it. I believe it evolves quite late. But here, you see the Swords of Justice's signature ability, Justified, take effect. I really wish there was enough text space to call it Heart of Justice like it was in the Japanese version. But anyway, basically what it does is, and hey, here's the benefit to playing at night, Dusk Balls work really well. Anyway, Justified boosts your attack one stage when you're hit by a dark move. Now, this is very, very helpful, given that where we're going, there are actually quite a lot of strong Dark-type users coming up ahead, so where we're going, that's actually going to be a very useful ability to have on hand. Sadly, my Cobalion is actually more special-oriented than physical, so yeah, but it's going to help Virizion a fair amount. Of course, the main use for Justified is, I actually completely forgot what I named this thing. You know, I actually completely forgot. Like, honestly, Skulls... Oh, that's right! That's where that came from! Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the nickname that someone gave Rhyme in The World Ends With You, because they were calling Beats Skulls, so they call Rhyme Skulls, and that's a giant spoiler, forget I said that. Anyway, right then, we found another fungus, and yeah, we found another fungus. Okay, so what I was originally actually talking about this route, which I'm probably going to get interrupted, so I'm going to stop. We are interrupted by a battle girl, who are not bear girls this generation. I don't know why, but like, I know they're supposed to be doing a kung fu pose, but that pose they're in X and Y just makes it look like they're trying to imitate a bear. It's just weird, so I call them bear girls. And hey, Scrafty, we certainly fought a whole lot of those back in X and Y against Team Flare, so I'm going to be making a whole lot of X and Y comparisons, aren't I? And oh great, X-Scissor has problems with that. So anyway, okay, yeah, something a little silly I just realised. I could have used Sacred Sword there and it would have been super effective. Yeah, because this thing is dark fighting, and fighting is still super effective. Oh wow, I'm incredibly dumb. And that's even neutral, wow. Okay, I have no idea how to excuse Past Me's actions here, but I just want to say that I have a feeling that Past Me was very tired, especially when... Wow, okay, Past Me was definitely tired and stupid here, I can tell you that. I was playing it after 11 according to the in-game clock, so hey, I guess Past Me was tired. Not even realising that I had a much more powerful stab super effective move, switching a psychic type into a dark type. Yeesh, and if I had stayed in I would have got Justified. Oh, okay, just warning you, yeah, I will have to point out a lot of Past Me's derp, in this kind of thing, because seriously, what did I just do? Did I just use extra sensory on it? Okay, I'm crying inside, I really am. Well, Past Me, you are an incredible moron! Just as I point out how dumb past me was in not realizing I had a better super effective option, I go ahead and use an extra sensory on a dark type. Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself now. Oh, I barely had the will to even continue after that. Oh man, past me, you are a moron. One of the problems of doing post-commentary right there is you realise how much of an idiot you were sometimes in the original recording. Oh, I don't think I've ever been that stupid in this entire playthrough before. Let's just hope that doesn't continue, because believe me, the game is about to get a lot harder, and that kind of stupidity will really cost me later on. So anyway, I didn't get a chance to talk about the main thing I wanted to talk about there, and you probably have already guessed what I was going to talk about. Because it's kind of obligatory you talk about it when you head out onto Route 10. Wow, I just realised Black and White has about half as many numbered routes as X and Y. Anyway, going up here, this is totally not suspicious. And a max potion. Hey, every little bit helps, I guess. So mainly the thing about this route here is the music. Wow, this is one of the most amazing tracks in the game, and it's about to get interrupted because it's rival time. Stop. Rival time. Sorry about that. Anyway, hey look, it's the other rivals. It's Charon and Bianca. So last we left off, Alda was the last bastion against Team Plasma. N was about to go and challenge him, and well, you know how badly things tend to go when you leave matters in the hands of NPCs, so I guess we gotta go over ourselves. But first, Prosecutor Charon. Have I ever mentioned before that the way he points makes him look like a prosecutor in the Ace Attorney series? Anyway, he's going to test us to see if we truly are ready to get going, and his Pokemon are already higher level than us. Yep. Experience share X and Y this ain't. Welcome to No Experience Run, where things are very, very hard compared to the normal standard of things. Now, I definitely want to get Virizion the heck out of there, because Virizion happens to be double weak to flying. However, Cobalion happens to resist flying. Unfortunately, Cobalion also happens to have terrible special defense. However, Unpheasant happens to have terrible special attack. Talonflame, you ain't. Seriously, I am still inclined to think of the Pidove line as some of the worst early game birds of the series, and Cobalion does not actually resist that. Going for a bit of a mixed set with Cobalion using Work Up to make use of both offenses at once. Now hopefully I will be able to heal myself and get a hit in before it flinches me to death. Just don't pull a Seabolt on me. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm relying mostly on Moo Milks for my healing because they're the most... Oh hey, just at the right time. I couldn't have continued boosting there anyway. So, how about... This is gonna miss, isn't it? Focus miss. Oh, it actually hit, okay. Yeah, focus miss. Never hits when you needed to, but this one did, and yes it can. If that didn't KO, I would have got very, very annoyed. Oh wow, you're sending in your trump card already. It's the Big Pig. Is this the first time we've actually seen Charon use his M4? I believe it is. I personally think that Samurott or Serperior fits Charon's personality more. Again, I've always liked Charon with Serperior. I think that's been the one that's been most fitting of him, and that was not good at all. That was very not good because Cobalion does not like fire, and Virizion doesn't either, but at least Virizion has better special defense to take it. Cobalion is just an absolute pushover against, And there's another thing I miss about X and Y. In-game storyline opponents actually having dialogue mid-battle. I know it wouldn't really work well with the actual graphical style of X and Y, it still detracts from the personality of the X and Y gym leaders a lot. So, I really wish they'd bring that back at some point. Speaking of things I wish they'd bring back, I'm trying to go for a Justified here, but I couldn't quite get it. Speaking of things that I wish they'd bring back, the gym leader's last Pokemon theme. That's one thing I didn't get to mention about X and Y. I really do lament the fact that's gone. And also unique gym themes for all the individual gym leaders. That was a great addition in Black and White 2, and I'm again annoyed that's gone. And now, hey, looks like Aerial Ace is actually going to be wait a minute. And I derped again. X-Scissor would have done even more because of, yeah, also being super effective, but being stronger. Aerial Ace did look a heck of a lot better in X and Y, and I just realized my derp here. X-Scissor, much better. And Seed Bomb. Oh boy, I love that move now so much on my Chestnut, but that's not about that. I should... Oh! Damn it. And I derped and didn't realize that you were faster than me, yeah. That's, again, a problem with doing a no experience run, is, well, get used to not outspeeding things, because they're going to be of much higher level than you more often than not. So yeah, I actually recommend this to a lot of you out there. If you found X and Y too easy with the experience share, try doing this. Download yourself a ROM of this game that still has the anti-piracy measure on it. Don't patch the anti-piracy. And try and play this game no experience. Warning, you may be pulling your hair out during the Elite Four, believe me, but that's for later. Anyway, we have defeated Charon, so he gives us a full heal, which is very nice because we haven't even come close to exploring this full route yet. This is a surprisingly big route. But anyway, once again, we have more story. So, and again, what is it with rivals and giving you max revives? Max revives are going to be quite helpful. Actually, wait a minute. I did say that I was not going to use revives in battle during this game, but I can probably use them in between Elite Four fights, just to patch up my team. So, anyway, again, I'm not used to the black and white rivals, again, after all that time on X and Y, so I kind of forgot what I was saying about them, but again, they are certainly more character development involved in the X and Y rivals. I will say I did like Callum and Serena, but I still think Sharon and Bianca are pretty good characters. And you remind me of Shauna now. Of course, again, Black and White was also much more moralistic and philosophical than X and Y were. There was a little bit of it in X and Y, but it was mostly on the part of the villains. Black and White, yeah, definitely much heavier and more story involved than X and Y. I really don't agree with the people who say that, that X and Y were quote-unquote basic in comparison to Black and White and didn't have as compelling a plot. I really think the Team Flare plot should not be written off. It is one of the darkest plot lines in the series, hands down. But I do think in terms of overall storyline, White do win over X and Y in this department. I still believe that Black and White are still the best games in the series for single player. But anyway, and that actually leads me into a bit of a segue into my next point. Something that obviously... Whoa! Double Afro Bulb! Yeah, that is somewhat intimidating. Thing is, I'm a little intimidated by these things, because I actually have had a Buffalont, take off a very large amount of health of my Chestnut with, one head charge, and... yeah, that is kind of scary, actually. But anyway, I can quite safely take them out with Sacred Sword, though, okay. Hopefully I will be able to catch one of these. Now, I have actually lost track of which of the highest levels you can get each Pokemon at on each route. I do know that Buffalont is a bit more, that is super effective, isn't it? Yes, it is, but it didn't do that much. Thank goodness for my physical defense there. Anyway, I guess I should try to weaken that one a little bit. And yeah, for some reason my bottom screen glitches up a bit in double battles. I don't know why, it's just a weird emulator quirk. But anyway, hopefully this does not accidentally KO. Wow, that is the exact opposite of accidentally KOing. That did much less damage than I would have expected. Buffalon has fairly decent defenses, and we actually need to watch out a bit, because if these things have head charge, they are liable to knock themselves out, so that could get annoying. And speaking of annoying, I believe, again, I forget Black and White mechanics, but I believe you have to use up both of your Pokemon's turns if you want to use a ball, so that could get annoying later on in this. But anyway, there are some quite decent Pokemon we can catch on this route, and yeah, I've lost track of what I was talking about. Again, in post-commentary, expect that to happen quite a lot, because often I'll be talking about one thing and then something will happen in my game footage that I just realised that I really need to talk about, because, yeah, you probably understand. Anyway, it's very different to live commentary. Oh, great. Yeah, this is gonna keep happening until I, you are doing very little damage with that revenge, I will say. Okay, come on, Dustball. Come on, Dustball. Come on, damn it. Dustball. Anyway, also, oh boy, here it is, the head charge itself. Don't knock yourself out, don't knock yourself out, don't knock yourself out, don't knock yourself out, don't knock yourself out. Phew, didn't quite. But it is on, its time is numbered, so I'm gonna have to catch this thing very quickly. At least it's not a Shadow Pokemon using Shadow Rush. That was annoying. Really? Really? Oh no, 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 no. Oh, come on. Come on, don't. Oh, so close. Okay, okay, okay. I have to get this thing this turn, or it is presumably gonna knock itself out. And if it does, I'm gonna be very, very angry. You are paralyzed, you are on red health, I am using a max strength dust ball. You really should get in this. Come on, come on, come on, Afro Bull, you know you want to. And caught. Great, okay. Now, yes, while we're on the subject of Buffalont, I'm not actually probably going to use it later on, but anyway, what I kind of need to say about this thing is Buffalont is the one reason that Mirror B seriously needs to come back and he has to use one of these. Because honestly, really, Mirror B with one of these, it's just, honestly, make it happen. It just has to happen. Anyway, and again, I kind of forget a lot of the nicknames here, so some of these are going to be surprises, even to me. Okay, that's kind of weird. Oh, that's why I did that, okay. Anyway, sorry. Again, I feel like I'm doing a blind run here, because I seriously forgot some of my nicknames, and, okay, now if I remember correctly, this thing is, yes, some of these ones are actually Amoongus rather than Fungus. So, and they are at level 40, which is quite a nice level, so, you might want to catch these things if you get the chance. Gotta watch out for that Effect Spore, though, which could get annoying. Speaking of Effect Spore, I knew it! And it's always Sleep. It's always Trip Sleep. And hey, there's Sweet Scent, a move that got a lot more relevance in X and Y. Anyway, why is it that whenever you trip Effect Spore on the AI, it always hits you with Sleep? It's like the most common one for some reason. It's always one that screws you over the most, and it's just always the most common. Oh, Giga Drain, great. So yes, catching this thing is going to be a pain, but I believe this and Buffalont are actually the main things we need to get on this route, so, yeah. Thankfully, after this one, the catching spree will mostly be over. Oh yeah, for those of you just joining this run, wow! 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 What is it with Sacred Sword and critically like that, and what is it with Effect Spore and Sleep? Like I said, it's always Sleep. Always Sleep. Anyway. We have Amoongus here. And yeah, its Pokédex entry here is generally only half of the story. It apparently lures in prey by swinging its Pokeball things, and not many Pokemon are fooled by it. But funnily enough, its shiny coloration actually resembles a Master Ball, which is pretty cool. Electrode has the same thing, I believe. Anyway, what did I end up naming this? Now, I believe I end up calling the Fungus before either Mush Doom or something like that. So I end up calling this one Shroom Doom. Yeah. Even though, again, I don't think I use this. But hey, I like to have extra Pokemon on hand. Like I said, it's extremely important in this challenge you catch everything at the highest possible level it can be. And I'm gonna need a few of these because despite the fact that Sharon fully healed me, those Buffalants were a little too much. So anyway, I did not get to mention the music on this route, which is one of the most beautiful songs in the entire series. And it just gives this journey a whole sense of emotion. Like, I do agree that, okay, X and Y really gave you a lot of emotional investment in the Pokemon journey itself, but Black and White give you emotional investment in the plot, and this music is perfect for the moment where the plot is at, despite the fact that it keeps getting interrupted by wild Pokemon. Anyway, this music is perfect for the moment we currently are in the plot, okay? We know that Team Plasma is still out there. Their evil plans have not been realized yet. Well, they're actually not really so much evil plans, really. Again, you get multiple chances of these Amoonguses, but anyway. Their plans aren't really so much evil as they are misunderstood, but anyway. Hey, seems I actually found a big mushroom, which means... find a Pokemon Thief. Okay, once again, my commentary gets distracted. I just feel the need to point this out. I might need to catch this just to get myself the big mushroom for some extra cash. But anyway, if mushrooms were as common as they were in X and Y, but they are not, alas. Speaking of mushrooms, something I need to point out. This thing could hold either a tiny mushroom or a big mushroom. However, Amoongus have a 1% chance of holding a Bulb mushroom, which in this game sells for 25,000 Pokédollars. Yep. Now, I have a bit of a funny story with this. A little while ago, I was breeding up a Rage Powder Tangrowth for a local tournament, and in order to do so, I needed a male Amoongus to breed the move Rage Powder onto a Tangela. Now, naturally, my commentary is getting distracted again, forgive me, but whatever. Naturally, it took ages for a male to actually show up, despite the, That's a bit of an in-joke with another Let's Players videos, but anyway. Like I was saying, it took quite a while for a male one to show up, and when it did, I accidentally knocked it out. Damn it. And so I had to keep searching, and eventually I found a second Amoongus, and I caught this second one. Guess what? The second Amoongus happened to have a Bulb mushroom. Yep, so it was fate that I knocked out the first one. One of the few times I've actually been really lucky in Pokemon. Speaking of lucky, it's Sork, my nemesis. Hopefully though, my nemesis will not be able to stand up to the new Psychic Onslaught of... Okay, good. Phew, anyway. The new Psychic Onslaught of Dagoth Pokemon Egogi. Oh, can I survive this? Can I survive this? Can I survive this? No! Damn it! Oh well, at least it is reasonably weakened, so hopefully I will not be suffering any more wipeouts at the hands of Sorks. Again, for those of you who've just joined me, I have in fact, 3 of my blackouts so far have been caused by Sorks. Sorks have caused me to completely wipe more than any gym leader in the game so far. So far, the biggest record of a gym leader is 2 blackouts. Sorks have caused me 3, so... Sork is a notoriously broken Pokemon in the main story of Black and White. I've actually seen people who have soloed the game with Sork. But anyway, like I was saying before, the music on this route, again, you're at this point where everything feels so uncertain. You don't know what's in store for Team Plasma. Alza says he can hold the fort against N, but you're not really sure he can. It's this whole nervous atmosphere. It's just not only that, but you start to feel like there's this really ominous build-up. Something big is about to happen. It's the calm before the storm. Yeah. The lead up to something bad, very bad, is about to happen. The beginning of the end. And for that, this music really delivers in conveying that mood. And that's just why I love this track so much. It only plays on one route, but it only needs to. It manages to be one of the most memorable tracks in the whole series, despite only appearing in one route. And it's just, I cannot praise this enough. I mean, I actually think Black and White does have a very, very good soundtrack. X and Y has an amazing soundtrack too. And X and Y does have some songs that really fit the atmosphere of the places. I will cite Snowbell City's theme here, and yeah, you gotta watch yourself around using flying types around girders, because they kind of have a tendency to have rock moves. But that wasn't even a critical. Interesting. Anyway. Oh, Boldor. Right. Speaking of rock moves, here's an actual rock type. And this only makes me think of the recent movie I just watched, where Ash randomly sent out this Boldor a grand total of twice. It didn't do very much, and I don't think it even said anything. Yes, the movie's demoting random people to extras. Jesse and James were basically demoted to extras in that movie too, which I personally think might actually be a good thing. Again, I agree with a lot of people who say that movie, it's the Keldeo one I'm talking about by the way, was actually a lot better for the fact that it didn't focus on the human characters, but that is actually less of a form of praise and more of a form of not praise that the human characters are so bad that the only good Pokemon movies are the ones that don't focus on them. Anyway, it really helps that Keldeo was voiced by Junpei Iori, seriously. Like, I honestly have so much respect for that voice actor after playing Persona 3, seriously. Seriously, I honestly think it's one of the best performances that I have ever seen in an English dub, ever. But enough about that. This person here is surprisingly not a trainer. They're going to give us a Duskstone. Boy, that would have been useful back when I needed one to evolve my Doublade, wouldn't it? Also here we find a TM of Roar. You usually get this TM a lot earlier than now. But anyway, Roar can be helpful for shuffling certain Pokemon out, and you... didn't you? Yeah, you did. Dang it. Anyway, apologies if my commentary is jumping all over the place here. It's just that this is quite a long... it's not actually that long of a route, it's just that I like to explore every route as much as possible, and, yeah, I actually wouldn't have battled this trainer before if it weren't for the fact that I need to go back to the center, and this guy is Mold Breaker. Okay, I know you don't have... Okay, Rivalry wouldn't help you here because I'm genderless. But anyway, Mold Breaker, that's not actually going to help. Does Mold Breaker actually interact? I believe it doesn't interact with Justify. It only affects abilities that actually negatively impact the amount of damage your moves are doing, or make you immune to certain moves. But anyway, hopefully this will do enough, and it did. What you got next? Electric. Now I may have mentioned this about Electric earlier in the playthrough. Electric is a very odd Pokemon to me because it actually has a it had massive success in the competitive trading card game scene, even more than its evolution did. I always found it weird how some unevolved Pokemon that are kind of pathetically bad in the games actually got really good usage in the card game, most notably Cleffa, but anyway. Actually though, here we have... Oh boy, okay, a good thing you mimicked Flash Cannon, because if you had mimicked Focus Blast, I would have been in a world of pain. But anyway, this here is Excelgor. I don't know if we've actually seen one of these before, I forget, it's been so long since I've done this playthrough. But Excelgor is a kind of cool Pokemon. Unfortunately, its whole ninja theme has kind of been stolen by Greninja. Though, interestingly though, I kind of see Excelgor as more of a race car driver than a ninja, actually. Kind of a combination of the two, but leaning more towards racing car driver. Anyway, though, oh great, okay, yeah. Excelgor, I think, is actually one of the best users of Knee First in the game. It's a very interesting move. Unfortunately, you are going to dig yourself in, because, haha, rough skin, joke's on you. Yep, sometimes, being so eager to go first can be your downfall. I love getting KOs like that. Why have I not given the Rocky Helmet to, Dradagon, actually? Anyway, like I was trying to say before, I need to go back to the Pokemon Center. Anyway, yeah, me first. Me first is a very interesting move. I don't know whether I've discussed it before, but what it basically does is, it only works if you are faster than your target. So if you're not faster, it'll actually fail and you'll waste your turn. But what happens is, you basically use the move that they were going to use, and at 1.5 times power, so effectively stab. Me first can actually be really good in some situations, especially throwing Metagross or Tyranitar's Earthquakes right back at them. I apologise that I've had to go back to the Pokemon Center so many times, but, you know, I want to save my money for buying healing items for the Elite Four, because believe me, I am going to need them. And I am also going to Volt Nature, Oh, that's actually not good, because it's lowering your attack. Eey, that's actually pretty bad. Oh, Reckless! That's why Head Charge is doing so much. Head Charge, it's annoying because I honestly really wish that it kept the Japanese name of Afro Brick! Which just sounds so awesome, and much more fitting for being the signature move of, you know, the Afro Ball, and you were both holding big mushrooms, weren't you? Or something, some kind of mushroom. Lonely and timid, okay. Oh wow, gigantic difference in attack there, wow! Whoa, that's huge! And the one with timid doesn't have that big of a speed advantage either. That is an enormous difference in attack. My guess is one of them has very high IVs in attack and the other has like 0. I know there's a plus nature, but for identical levels, that is an enormous difference in attack. I was tossing up putting Frockalina in the party there, but I actually don't think I'm going to. Just to spoil things here, I believe, yes, Polar and Crackle probably aren't going to be seeing that much use later on. They're going to be dumped from the party fairly soon, so I want them to get as much screen time as they can in these last few moments. You'll notice they're on level 36 and 37, and they're not getting any higher at all. Which is not good considering that opponents now are in the mid-40s. Yeah. Oh boy, if this was X and Y, things would be even worse when opponents by this point are in the mid-60s. Or at least, no, mid-50s, mid to late 50s. Late 50s, more like. Yeah, late 50s. Anyway. Hey, I was saying before, let's see what you got here. Do I need any more Pokeballs? I'm not sure. Potions... Oh, okay. Considering that we are going into Victory Road, we are going to need a hell of a lot of repels. Trust me, we are going to need a lot of these. Lots and lots of these. Really need to stock up here. There are quite a few interesting Pokemon for us to catch in Victory Road, but once we've caught all of them, yeah, we're really going to want to use repels, because that place is very long, and we do not want it to get bogged down by random encounters. Because, seriously, wow. Yeah, that could get very bogged down. Already battled that guy. I believe there was another trainer here who I skipped over. You might see me skipping several trainers here, because again, trainer battles... Whoops! Okay, yeah, speaking of which, I ran right into one. I guess it makes this part more interesting. I often skip trainers in a no experience run simply because they give no experience, so no real reward, apart from the prize money. So basically, you are getting nothing out of these fights besides the prize money. So, yeah. Maractus, okay. Yeah, now, I do really like the fact that, like, this is one reason why I actually really liked Black and White for having no old Pokemon at all, having only new ones until you beat the Elite Four. I really wish that X and Y was more like that, but I know to each their own. And hey, it's Cryogonal. Speaking of the Keldeo movie, wow, those things were all over the place there, and I kept screaming to everyone, just use a freaking physical attack. Cryogonal has like absolutely 0 physical defense, and yeah, its ice beams are reasonably strong, but I don't care. Oh, hey! Looks like we unintentionally reenacted the Keldeo move. Honestly, if I was doing some kind of audio commentary on that movie, the moment when all 3 of them got frozen by Kyurem, I was just like, I call freeze hacks. Yeah. Stupid freeze hacks. always gets you when you don't want it to. And of course, the AI always gets the freeze hacks. You always stay frozen forever, but whenever you freeze them, they always... Whoa! That was... I believe I did successfully recreate my first reaction to that when I was actually playing. I mean, admittedly, it was very bad because it's doing pathetically low damage, and, you know what? Screw this, full restore. Please don't freeze me again. Anyway. Pathetically low damage. You're using it again, honestly. Almost, like, very low damage, and you now are a sitting duck for one turn, so eat sword. And again, physical attacks. Cryogonal are completely weak to physical attacks. Yeah, like, they really die to physical attacks publicly. Aloma Mola. Okay, interesting. Anyway, let's see if Green Blade can't handle this one here. Aqua Ring, I said Aura Sphere for a second there. Let's see if I still have... Okay, I still have Giga Drain. For some reason, I was not using Giga Drain. Oh, I see. You're gonna stall for more healing, aren't you? Well, I've got just the miss for you, because I'm actually not able to hit you this turn at all. Let's see how much Giga Drain does. 2 can play at the healing game. And that did a lot more, so I should have gone with that from the beginning, actually. And hopefully, veterans do not like to use full restores. And I know that basically anything is going to KO, so I don't want to waste another Giga Drain. It's only got 10 PP after all. I mean, I am very glad that it got a PP buff. I can say that and I'll go ahead and use it anyway. I really don't know what my logic was. I guess I was just wasting an aerial ace to... yeah, I was wasting one of my weaker moves while it was underwater, just so I wouldn't waste PP of something useful. Anyway. So... that was interesting. Okay, another one of these ace trainers. I could avoid her if I wanted. Oh wow, that was... and I really wanted to battle her for some reason. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I didn't feel good for totally avoiding her there. I believe because... does she have something really cool on her team? I know that someone on this route has something really cool that I've been dying to show off in this playthrough, because it is one of my favorite Unova Pokemon. Speaking of which, here is Sawsbuck. Sawsbuck is kind of interesting because in X and Y, because of there are no seasons, Sawsbuck is always in its spring form, apparently. Anyway, you get extra sensory, and what do you got next? Jellicent. Oh, great. Not the cool thing I was expecting to see. Right, I might need to Giga Drain this thing, but, hey, hopefully this thing doesn't have Energy Ball, otherwise people are gonna get banned from the server. That's a bit of a weird in-joke. I really don't know much about that. All I know is there was apparently an incident on Smogon at one time when, someone beat one of the admins using an Energy Ball Jellicent, and the guy had a complete hissy fit and banned everyone else from the server over it. And since then, Energy Ball Jellicent had been the go-to moveset for just trolling people. Kind of funny, but also actually a little sad if it reflects on their moderators at all. But anyway, that Jellicent is down, so that was a surprisingly easy battle. Okay, and there's a veteran there. And are you gonna battle me? Oh, yes you are. Okay, so by process of elimination, he has the cool thing on this route that I wanted to show off. I mean, hey, we are on our way to the Pokemon League. We should challenge everyone we meet. I mean, it just feels anticlimactic this late in the game to just go avoiding trainers. Anyway, Beartic, this is not the cool thing I was talking about. Okay, I believe Cavalion is the best thing to take this out, given that it's got very good resistances to ice and can hit it with, except this thing might have revenge. Hey, that's the move I swept Drayden with, except, yeah, not gonna do much to me now. yeah, I believe this will do more because I have better special attack, more power, and you probably have weaker special defense. If this does not KO, I'll be very surprised. And it did, so I didn't need to worry. Okay, you're gone. So that was definitely not the cool thing I wanted to see. I'm sorry, I don't like Seismitoad very much at all. I just think we didn't really need yet another water grounds. Like, just... why these water grounds? Why? We just, again, we didn't need another one. Oh well. Anyway, I actually have seen Seismitoad used reasonably well, even in competitive play, but still, I'm not really a fan of Seismitoad. Here it is! This is what I wanted to show off. Escavalier. I believe this is the first time we have seen one in the series. Escavalier is definitely one of my favourite Gen 5 Pokemon. But again, okay, if you've witnessed my reaction to Vikstrom in X and Y, I am incredibly biased. Again, being a massive Fire Emblem fan, I kind of have an obsession with Knights in Armor. I like Knights in Heavy Armor, okay? I'll just say that. I just do. I just think they're awesome. I don't know why, I just really do. I have a feeling I might know where this came from a game I actually played in my childhood a long time, but kind of in a way, probably the reason I got into Fire Emblem in the first place, sort of. But still, I'm not actually going to mention what that game is in case I actually want to play through it eventually, which I actually can, considering that I'll give you a hint. Now that I have Fraps on my computer, I may be able to record it. But anyway, oh, of course, Focus Blast would have missed then. Anyway, also, the other reason why I love Escavalier so much is that I achieved a very, very good success with one in a local tournament I played in. I took second place. It was only because we actually had to play off the first, so I basically tied first to all intents and purposes. I just lost the final match. I didn't want to win anyway, since the prize was just a copy of Mystery Dungeon, Gates to Infinity, which I didn't actually want. So, it's funny, because neither of us actually wanted the prize, but we had to play for it anyway. But anyway, using a Trick Room team, I achieved a lot of success with an Escavalier, honestly. Wow, that Mega Horn is insanely powerful, I will say. I basically nicknamed Mega Horn the Kill Everything attack, because it pretty much is. Especially, I was using Bug Gem on it earlier to make it even more overkill. I believe once in the PWT, I think one of my favourite overkill moments in the PWT was when I believe I hit an Executor, which for those not in the know is double weak to Bug, because of being Grass Psychic. Hit an Executor with Bug Gem, Mega Horn off Escavalier, and it was a critical hit. I'm guessing that probably would have been enough to KO it 10 times over. That was insane. I believe I've done that more than once as well, so it's usually Erica who has the Executors, and for some reason they always get critical, but anyway. So, yeah, that's basically this route all cleared out. Next time, we will take on the Badge Check Gates and head on over to Victory Road itself. Yep, get ready guys, because that's going to be a long one, but a pretty awesome one. Let's hear this amazing music once again. And on that note, I will leave you that seriously. I just love this music so much. Next time, Victory.